Gabriela was founded in April 1984 after 10,000 women marched in Manila, defying a Marcos decree against demonstrations. General Assembly binding women for reforms, integrity, equality, leadership, and action. Is a leftist Filipino organization that advocates for women's issues. Gabriela aimed to synthesize issues of national liberation, poverty, and women's emancipation. The organization's founders pushed for a comprehensive social transformation, rather than focusing on individual form of oppression. This came to be known as Third World Feminism. The NGO was named in honor of Gabriela Silang, a revolutionary Filipina who led a revolt against Spain in the second half of the 18th century. Let's talk about feminism.
Actually, wala. Pero siguro ang naisip ko lang sa feminism na yan, siguro yung pagiging babae ko lang. Ganun kung anong ako at kung mga kaya kong gawin. Kasi sa to lang, iba kasi yung yung ngayon, panahon natin ngayon kayo, millennials kayo, iba lalo sa inyo, mas maganda ang dahil mas kaya nyo gawin, ang kaya gawin ng lalaki. Kasi kami sa feminism, pag inisip ko kasi yung salta feminism, anong kaya kong gawin bilang babae? Parang gano'n yung dating sa akin, di ba? Na kaya ko ganito, kaya ko ganyan. Sa totoo naman, kaya ko naman talaga. Pero may siguro din, may ibang bagay na hindi ko rin naman kaya na kailangan ko humingi ng tulong sa mister ko na which is lalaki naman, di ba? Meron talaga tayo, kaya natin kami sarili natin na may ibang bagay na hindi natin kayang gawin nito. Yun yung siguro na isip.
Camera Karin Olofsdotter is Sweden's ambassador to the United States. Her extensive diplomatic experience includes having served as ambassador to Hungary, a representative to the EU, and she was part of the Swedish delegation to NATO. She's the first woman to serve in Sweden's top diplomatic post in Washington, D.C., which is most relevant to our topic today, gender parity through diplomacy. Madam Ambassador, thanks, and thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
I want to ask you first about this feminist foreign policy that emerged in 2014, and then Sweden's claim to be the first feminist government. What's the backstory? How did this come about?
I think the government then that was elected in 2014, the Social Democratic, and it's a coalition, Social Democratic and Green Party, they just somehow had enough. You know, we've been talking about this for so long, but we don't really get there. You know, we are slowly moving women's issues ahead, but not to the speed that we would actually like. So the Prime Minister declared himself a feminist, and that the government was feminist. And that means that not only foreign policy, but within all the government dossiers, we always, for instance, have to do a gender analysis on all policy decisions. What does this have any bearings for gender issues? If not, okay, fine. If it does, so how do we make sure that it also is beneficial for both men and women? So that's like on the broader sense. And then the foreign minister, of course, then got feminist foreign policy. So when we do foreign policy, we really try to look at women's representation, women's rights, and women's resources. So the 3 R's they are called. And
so not just symbolic, you're talking about technical moves.
Yes. So we have, we are one of the largest development donors in the world, the 6th largest actually. We give 1% of BNI. And in all development cooperation projects, we have to look at gender issues. We are now on the United Nations Security Council. We have been, we are non-permanent members, so we have 1.5 year to go. But in all the discussions, in all the mandates coming out of the United Nations Security Council, women, peace and security is in. When it's related to crisis management and so on. So actually 100% of all the mandates coming out of the Security Council last year had women's security.
Feminism is the advocacy of women's rights on the basis of equality. The term feminism originated from the French word feminisme, coined by the utopian socialist Charles Fourier. The first gathering devoted to women's rights in the United States was held on July 19 to 20, 1848 in Seneca Falls, New York.
Kumbaga, walang mas malakas, walang mas mahina, walang mas capable. Kumbaga, meron silang kanya-kanyang lakas, strength and weaknesses, pero pag tinimbang mo yun, pareho lang. Kasi may kayang gawin ang babae na hindi kayang gawin ng lalaki. Ang lalaki ay may kayang gawin na hindi kayang gawin ng babae on a different level. Kasi sinasabi nila, yung iba, sinasabi ay, lahat ng kayang gawin ng lalaki ay kaya rin gawin ng babae. Yes, at some point. May mga babae na kayang gawin yung ginagawa ng lalaki. Pero in general, hindi natin, kasi lahat naman, di ba, may kanya-kanya strength at weaknesses yung bawat tao. Meron din namang lalaki na physically mahina, merong malakas. So, same lang yun, yung kakayanan nila.
Last question po. In your own opinion, what can you say about feminism?
Ayun. Kasi babalik naman tayo sa basic. Pag sinabing feminism, gender equality, yun at yun lang din yung baksak nun. Wala nang ibang, kumbaga, wala namang, kahit palabok-labukin natin yung pag-uusap natin about feminism, dun lang din siya babaksak. Gender equality. Gender, equal treatment, equal rights, equal opportunity, saka yung pantay na pagtingin sa bawat tao. Yun lang. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Today we're gonna interview a staff here in Feminism.
I'm Cristela Vella Di Capina, staff, Gender and Development Staff of City Government of Imus.
Here's the first question, ma'am. Do you agree that women should be treated equally like men? Why?
Oo, kasi 'di ba, in human nature naman, sa humanity, babae or lalaki or even ibang gender, even the LGBTQ community, kailangan equal treatment yung nare-receive nila from us. So, sa tingin ko naman dapat equal yung treatment sa kanila.
Second question. Do you have any idea what feminism is?
Yes, ang feminism kasi, eto yun nga, sabi, gender equality. Ibig sabihin, hindi naman totally pag sinabing feminism ay angat ang babae or babae lang yung focus. Pag sinabing feminism, ibig sabihin dapat equal yung treatment sa kahit anong gender, both gender, men and women.
Do you consider yourself as a feminist?
Yes, at some point. Kasi yung sinasabi nila na feminism, kaya dapat same yung treatment na nare-receive ng babae at lalaki ay dahil pareho silang capable in a different way. Kumare, ang lalaki physically, aminin natin, mas strong sila. Pero sa ibang aspect, for details, mas detalyado yung babae. Kaya dapat, yung treatment na nakukuha natin, yung rights, yung karapatan, yung privilege, yung mga opportunity, pareho yung nare-receive sa kung paano sila tingnan. Masasabi ko na feminist ako kasi same naman, kung paano ko tingnan yung babae at lalaki ay pareho. Kumbaga, walang mas malakas, walang mas mahina, walang mas capable. Kumbaga, meron silang kanya-kanyang lakas, strength and weaknesses, pero pag tinimbang mo yun, pareho lang.
Flying at supersonic speeds while navigating hairpin curves is all in a day's work for Air Force fighter pilots. And for one woman, it's her life's passion. Not only the first female fighter pilot in Air Force history, but now the first woman to lead a fighter wing some 5,000 strong. ABC's Martha Raddatz brings us this amazing ride.
The pre-flight prep is always intense. The mask must be perfect, the oxygen flow, the G-suit. But having the commander of the 5,000-member fighter wing at your side, the first female in history to hold the job, makes this all the more exciting. It is the most thrilling, death-defying ride you can imagine. 600 miles per hour, split-second timing, and formations that can be uncomfortably close.
Whoa, so he's about 3 feet from the wingtip.
But with Colonel Jeannie Flynn Leavitt piloting this F-15 Strike Eagle from behind that visor, I could not be in more capable hands. Not only is she a decorated fighter pilot, she has broken through gender barriers that can only be called legendary.
My whole childhood, I dreamed about flying. I went to air shows, and I loved looking up and seeing the airplanes, and I just always wanted to fly.
The world of combat aviators was the most male, testosterone-driven culture imaginable. Women were welcome.
This is what I call a target-rich environment.
But not in the cockpit. And it wasn't just movies like Top Gun. Military brass argued fiercely against allowing females in combat aircraft.
If you want to make a combat unit ineffective, assign the women.
Or so they thought. Like it or not, things were about to change.
The Secretary of Defense has ordered that all the services permit women to fly combat missions.
And for the Air Force, young Lieutenant Jeannie Flynn, graduated at the top of her flight training class, would be the first.
I realized that not every person wanted this to happen. Some did, some didn't. But I also realized that at this point it's pretty.
Please introduce yourself.
So, I'm Amaria Sopardo from grade 12 ADM.
So, first question,
Do you agree that women should be treated equally like men? Why?
Yes, kasi I do believe in equality, tas freedom na din. We have the rights naman, so I think everyone deserves to be treated equally. Both gender.
Thank you. Do you have any idea what feminism is?
Yeah, ang alam ko lang, it's about women empowerment. Yan.
Do you consider yourself as a feminist?
No, kasi parang for me yung feminist is more on parang babae lang palagi. Parang sila lang yung yung parang leader, ganun, sila lang yung dapat na laging masusunod. Pero not in naman, I'm not generalizing naman yan.
So last question, do you think there's a negative effect of feminism and what it...
Oo naman, syempre. Kasi nga, like what I said, more on about women empowerment siya. So parang, nakakalimutan na nila yung gender equality na parang baka mamaya, sa sobrang is makalimutan na yung mga lalaki naman. So for me, parang mas maayos kapag both sides are equally treated naman.
Thank you!
I would like to draw a distinction between treated equally in regards to how God, because I believe that every people should be ascribing to the Christian worldview as the ultimate basis, since that is by the way, feminism is a philosophical view. Okay, hindi siya religion, hindi siya it is a philosophical view that sumusulong ng women's rights. So, in regards to the fair treatment, doon lang sa scope kung paano i-treat dapat yung babae.
Most of us perceive gender equality as only uplifting ladies, when the women's liberation actually had a lasting impact on all of us. According to Fox News, the empowerment of women is a threat to national security, causes boys eat their figure in school, and has turned men into whips and bosses, as well as slackers. Female breadwinners are also apparently a problem. Well, that's one way of seeing it. Another is to look at the host of ways that feminism has actually made the world a nicer place to live for everyone. Today, feminists have campaigned and continue to campaign for women's rights. They also work to ensure access to legal abortions and social integration, and to protect women and girls from rape, sexual harassment, and domestic violence. Feminism defined as the equality between men and women, socially, politically, and economically. Feminism is also divided into 5 different kinds. Number 1 on the list is liberal feminism, which argue that society holds the false belief that women are by nature less intellectually and physically capable than men. This tends to discriminate against women in academy, the forum, marketplace, which happen until this day. Next is the radical feminism. It is a belief and perspective in feminism, wherein it calls all for a radical reordering of society in which male supremacy is limited in all social and economic contexts. Next is Marxist and socialist feminism. It's a two-pronged theory that broadens Marxist feminism, argument for the role of capitalism in the oppression of women, and radical feminism's theory of the role of gender and patriarchy. Cultural feminism is the ideology of a female nature or female essence appropriated by feminists themselves as an effort to revalidate undervalued female attributes. Generally applied to individuals in the 1970s, feminism, which focuses on ecology and environment. It is also an activist and academic movement that sees critical connections between the exploitation of the nature and the domination over women both caused by men. Through the years, feminists are changing and improving their advocacies. And as their power grows, they give more and voice for women to fight for equal rights. Sure, people often misunderstood them, but it's time for people who are still lacking for information to know more and understand each other's value, regardless of gender. At the end of the day, feminism is all about being a human. It simply states that women can degrade men and men can discriminate women. Feminism is for all genders. It means that women are treated equally to men, not better. If men can cry, then women can fight. It means you can be you. Feminism is all about empowering women, giving them voice and teach everyone the beauty of equality, and to improve the shred of equality.
I hear it all the time. If you're not a feminist, you must be against women's progress. But here's the deal. Feminism. You love it, hate it, or redefine it to fit your preconceived narrative. But what is it really? Technically, feminism is the simple belief that women and men are equal. Now, you would be hard-pressed to find a sane person in the United States who doesn't believe that women and men should have the same rights. Which is why I'm often asked by other women, why won't you call yourself a feminist? After all, I probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for women throughout history fighting for my right to have a voice. Well, I can't call myself a modern-day feminist because feminism just isn't what it used to be. We're now in what we call the third wave of feminism, and to understand what that means, we need to back up. The first real wave of feminism was kickstarted in 1848 at the Seneca Falls Convention. The women there wanted basic control of their lives. They wanted to abolish slavery, and they wanted the right to retain property. They even brought up the radical notion that possibly, maybe, women should have the right to vote. It wasn't until 72 years later, in 1920, that women were granted that right through the 19th Amendment. The second wave of feminism came in the 1960s and 70s, resulting in the right to use birth control, anti-sex discrimination laws, and Roe v. Wade, aka the legalization of abortion. The third wave of feminism, which is happening now, is in some ways a continuation of the second wave, and in other ways, it's completely different. These feminists still fight against what they believe to be a gender wage gap. They still advocate for reproductive rights. They're still decrying the injustices of sexual discrimination, and they're still battling the evil villain that is white patriarchy. But today's feminism is a completely different beast. Not only are the third wavers vastly different from their suffragette foremothers, they also differ from their 1960s and 70s predecessors. They're no longer just fighting for women to have the same rights that men have. They're fighting for the emasculation of men, the fluidity of gender, uninhibited abortion, and the resistance. They parade around in anatomical hats and I Heart Abortion t-shirts. They skip work to show their economic worth. They tell other women they're an embarrassment to the female gender for simply holding differing political views. What's different about the 2017 brand of feminism is its complete and unashamed embrace of every part of the liberal ideology. Now, in order to be a feminist, you not only have to be pro-choice and anti-patriarchy, you also have to embrace the LGBT agenda, fully support Planned Parenthood, and hate Donald Trump. Feminism has embraced a doctrine that attempts to fit women into an ideological mold, which is ironic considering that's the very thing